Good evening, you're watching Call the Red. Here now tonight, we're going to react to the match that's finished not too long ago. Manchester United vs Spurs at Old Trafford. Finished 2-0 to the Red Devils. What a performance. After watching I saw the highlights and listened to it on the radio when it was live, but the absolute dross against Newcastle. Um, where all I heard on the radio was Fred's give it away, Fred's give it away. Yes, tonight he gave it away a few times. And admittedly, when I saw the lineup pre-match, I was looking at it saying, oh no, put Fred in. We've got McTominay on the bench, we've got Ericsson on the bench, and played Fred. That could cost us the midfield battle. But yes, he made mistakes. He did Fred things. He's Fred. It's what he does. He does Fred things. And his goal was is a fortuitous goal. But he actually played half decent. But as a team, what a performance! We even at half time it was 0-0, but we could have been winning the game. I mean, I'm not trying to say we should have been annihilating them, but we could have been a goal or two up at half time. We were just putting pressure. My only worry at half time being 0-0 was we'd put all the pressure on Spurs and not scored, and then it was going to come back and haunt us. They'd get one quick break or a mistake from a Fred, for example, and all of a sudden Kane's in or Son's in and there's a goal. But it didn't happen. We defended well. We kept pressing. We looked hungry. We looked like we wanted it, and we kept on at them. So it's all we can do. We just keep going on. And eventually, if you keep pressing, you get your rewards, and that's what happened to United. We were able to get a lucky goal and then carry on. Bruno, what a shot for the second goal. I've just seen in the chat there, Infinity saying Liverpool was robbed. I didn't watch the Liverpool game, obviously. I'm a United fan. This is a United channel. We're not here to talk about Liverpool. We're here to talk about Man United. So, Liverpool. I'm sure there's Liverpool fan channels out there who are going to discuss the Liverpool result and the Liverpool match. I didn't watch it, so I can't comment, obviously. I'm sure I'll catch up on it in the next couple of days, but until then, I'll reserve judgment. But Man United, what a performance. It's probably, to me, our best performance under Erik ten Hag so far, as a team performance. Just everybody. Dalot looked brilliant on the right. Shaw on the left, getting forward with the runs and getting his passes in and his crosses in. It was just, the midfield, Casemiro pulling the strings in the middle. Bruno looked good again after months of sort of average performances for Bruno. He hasn't been awful, but he's been, by his standards, obviously, he's not been up to that same level. And all of a sudden, tonight, he looks like the Bruno that we signed again. He looks like he's back to them levels. What a performance. What a result. Pre-match, I was worried. I'm not going to lie. Now we're back on track. We're winning matches again. Okay, it's one match, but, we sit here now, say we're at a point where we've beat Liverpool, we've beat Arsenal, we've beat Spurs. That... When, if you looked at the end of last season, when the fixtures came out, you looked at this season, you'd have gone through going, well, loss, that's a loss. Yes, we got turned over by Man City. They're a class above, they really are. I think the league's going to be theirs this season, in all honesty. But, that's for another day. But, yeah, after watching the highlights against Newcastle, where we were wasteful, we didn't seem to have that drive, that desire, that hunger. Tonight was opposite. It was there. It was there in abundance. Old Trafford was rocking. The crowd were into it. I think there's nothing more you could ask for as a United fan. It was everything that you, in terms of reaction, the performance, the result, everything that you could ask for realistically as a United fan tonight playing against Spurs. So yeah, absolutely no complaints there. I'm seeing different shouts around the match. Some are saying Bruno, some are saying Casemiro. You can go either way for me. Bruno was here, there, everywhere. It was a proper Man United captain's performance tonight. Absolutely deserved his goal. Casemiro, though, as well, in the midfield, pulling the strings, making the challenges, getting stuck in, protecting the back four. You could go either way. Dalot was getting his name sung by the Old Trafford crowd. It was just one of those nights. It was a special night. It had that feeling. There was that atmosphere in the air. It felt like a special Old Trafford night, something that's been lacking, I think, in recent times. So it was good to get that back. So yeah, absolutely, absolutely back on track. Hopefully, obviously we've got Chelsea at the weekend. That could be another match where we struggle. Um, um, I mean, I think if we could replicate the performance from tonight, we can get the result against Chelsea. But we need to bring our A game again. If we drop down a gear, that's a game we could potentially lose. So we need to be at the same level. But if we can maintain the performance, there's no reason why we can't get another result. Just want to touch on the whole Ronaldo thing. So obviously Ronaldo, a few minutes before the end of the game, I think it was about the 90th, 91st minute. He just sort of see. I mean, obviously we didn't see if there was a conversation between Ronaldo and Ten Hag first. Ronaldo got up, walked down the tunnel, and I imagine to the dressing room and didn't come back out. Now, for all we know, because obviously the TV. The press, they're not beyond hyping things up to try and get a headline. For all we know, before he walked down the tunnel, he spoke to Eric Ten Hag and said, "Boss, something going on at home, or really need to lose, or if I just go head in now." And Eric Ten Hag said, "Yeah, sure, go, you go." We don't know. We don't know. Eric Ten Hag obviously is going to be asked about it, which is a shame in a way because he shouldn't be able to be asked about players who didn't even get on the pitch. He should be talking about how well the players on the pitch have performed, and that includes the substitutes. That might have had a massive amount of time, but McTominay when he's come on, Alanga, he gave the ball away a couple of times, but again he looked lively. He went in the short time he had. Yeah, I mean, we just looked at obviously Christian Eriksen with his little cameo at the end. He looked like He was Christian Eriksen. He's been one of our main men this season. So absolutely cannot cannot sort of criticise any of the players or the manager tonight. Absolutely spot on. I'm just going to run through the stats here. I've got my iPad here. So in terms of the key stats, the fact that we had 70 shots for a start, that is something that just doesn't happen. Having 20 plus shots. I think I heard on commentary said on Amazon Prime was on, wasn't it? They said it's the most shots that United have had under Ten Hag, in any match so far, and it felt like we were just constantly getting forward. We were pressing them, we were attacking, but there was intent there in the play, and we looked hungry to score. And not every shot was world class. Obviously, some were tame, some were going wide or high, but we were getting the shots in, and that mattered. Sometimes all you can do is work the keeper. If you work the keeper enough times, he'll make a mistake, and there'll be a rebound or something will slip. That in itself can be a way to break down a stubborn team. That's like a team like Spurs, who got a manager in Conte, who he set up with five at the back. Was it 5-3-2? He went with 3-5-2, whatever you want to call it, with the three centre backs, the two wing backs. Obviously, Perisic was one of them. Obviously the three midfielders and two strikers in Son and Kane. So, I mean, he was clearly set up to try and defend, probably try and hit on the break. We just nullify the game plan. Another player again who performed amazingly tonight, I thought, Lisandro Martinez at centre back. They call him the Butcher over in Ajax. What a performance! He stuck to Harry Kane all night. Kane never had a sniff. And I mean, the one chance he did have, it was a mile offside. De Gea saved it anyway, so it wouldn't have counted regardless. But yeah, Martinez for me, absolute top performance from Martinez as well at the back. Varane was Rafael. Varane is a Rolls Royce, and what do you expect, Varane, top class, amazing player. I mean, like I say, looking for the sort of the stats for the game, possession says 51% United. Sometimes it's not the amount of the possession you have, is what you do with it when you've got it. Spurs, when they got it, they were trying to just, hit on the break, or they were passing around at the back. When we got the ball, we were camped in their half, and we were probing, we were passing around, we were probing, and that was the difference. Our possession, there was intent. It was possession, not for the sake of possession. It was possession to try and do damage to the opposition. And that for me, that's a big thing. That's something that, in years gone by, we wouldn't necessarily have done. We'd have just pinged it around at the back and little sideways and backwards passes, back to the keeper, back to Maguire, back to McTominay to do his little bunny hop pirouette thing he used to do. Then he'd give it back to Maguire, he'd give it back to De Gea. You know, Now we get the ball, we're being progressive, we're working it forward, and and it's exciting to watch. It's when your team's attacking, you're trying to score, you're trying to build something. It's exciting. You love to watch it, and absolutely, it was just brilliant. It was brilliant to watch as a fan. I'm sure as a Spurs fan, it probably wasn't the best game you've watched. They were saying on commentary, Alan Shearer was saying on commentary as well, how it was a great game to watch as a neutral. I imagine it probably was as a neutral a fairly sort of exciting, interesting sort of a game to watch. Um, there's one slight thing which I do want to pick up on with the referee. Overall, I thought he had a decent performance. No major issues with the decisions, except for one in the first half. Dyer goes down for Spurs, takes the ball, smack in the face, goes down. Referee instantly blows his whistle and stops for him to have treatment. Then a few minutes later, up the other end in United's penalty area, we're defending. Dalot blocks the shot, similar to Dyer did, but he catches him on the side of the head. He goes down, holding his head, and the referee lets play go on. That to me, I believe he's one of the sort of more up and coming referees that we had tonight. For me, that's something he needs to work on in his game management. Obviously, looking after the welfare of players. Luckily, Dalot wasn't seriously hurt. The same way that Dyer wasn't, but it was they're the sort of things that can cause a tempest of fray, because if you feel, especially for the players on the pitch, of course, you feel like, well, it's happened up there, you blow straight away, you've got him the medical treatment instantly. When it's happened to our guy, you've let play go on for another 30, 60 seconds and then blown your whistle. It's those sort of things which will cause, which will cause tempest of fray in certain matches. And will cause the referee then more problems in trying to control the players. So obviously, for his own benefit, he needs to get on top of that. Otherwise, referee, he wasn't really mentioned, which for a ref is about as good as it can get, really. If you're not talking about the ref and his performance or how he got this wrong, how he got that wrong, that to me, that's where it should be at. No VAR blunders. I think there was only one yellow card all match, which again, it wasn't that sort of game. There was lots of tackles being made, but they were good tackles. We were winning possession back. We're tackling. We're intercepting. There was a lot of good things in that United game today.